Hello guys and welcome to another video. Today we're here back on the ground in Eagle County. It's actually the same day of recording for me. I've flown over here in the morning and then in the afternoon I'm flying back to Vancouver, so a bit of a busy day flying for me. But yeah, we're here at Eagle County. I've set the plane up cold and dark. It spawned in its usual turnaround state, even though I selected cold and dark on the settings. I don't know. So what I've done, I've set the plane up cold and dark, and then I've saved it as the cold and dark state. In fact, what I'm also going to do, just in case, I'm also going to save it as state 1, just in case that's what it chooses to load in as well. So hopefully it will in future load in cold and dark, because obviously having to manually set it up cold and dark before every recording is a little bit annoying. It doesn't matter that much though. We're here in Eagle County, we're flying back to Vancouver. Now, unlike the flight here, it is actually a little bit of a longer kind of flight here today. So let's have a quick look at what we're doing today. So obviously we'd normally be expecting so it was 2 hours and 10 minutes here, 2 hours and 28 minutes back, cruising at an altitude of flight level 340. So pretty much the same, just as I said, it's because we're getting a headwind rather than a tailwind, so we're going to be it's about 18 minutes longer. But, you know, not a lot. I've already pre-filed it on that, so I'm going to be taking 9,500 kilos of fuel on board today and heading down to Vancouver. Pretty much normal, so should be pretty good. So I'm just going to let's get everything set up then. So let's head inside the aircraft. Obviously the jetway's already connected and everything. Here's our cold and dark 737. So I'll go ahead and get the battery on, and we'll let it. So you can see the. Okay, I forgot to set the emergency lights back from armed, so you can see it. There's the evidence that I haven't spawned it in cold and dark, and I've had to set it up myself. Now, obviously, the state of this aircraft actually saves as well from when I last flew it. So because I flew it in here, this plane, we're in the dark. Obviously, all these lights are on, so we're going to go ahead and make sure they're turned off. Although weirdly, I can't actually find. These are all dimmed. So why is the main panel lit up if it's all dimmed? That's a weird one. Is it down here? It's probably to do with one of these panels down here. No, that's off. Is there a light that's turned on? That light is broken or something? No, it's not that light. This is interesting. So the light is out. Look, you can see there. Look, it's. But there's obviously a light on somewhere. No, it's not that light. This one? Nope, they don't work. There. Nope, not that light. They're all off. All these lights are off. I don't understand. How is this happening? So you see, look, this main panel bright. Okay, what we'll do, I'll connect to ground power. Oh, there you go. It must be because we were on. We were off. The power's off, maybe, to the aircraft. Maybe that's why. Right, it's minus temperatures here actually, so we need to get the window heats on quickly, otherwise it's going to start steaming up. Okay, and let everything come to life. This can go on to FMC, this can go on to the FMC progress page. Position in it, so we're here in KEGE, and we're going to get the IRS's nav, and we'll just wait for the GPS position to pop up. And then we can get everything underway. So we're due out in about 28 minutes, so we've got plenty of time. Just waiting. There you go. So set RS position. We're going to grab our GPS left. Actually, they're both the same. It doesn't matter. There we go. Put that in there, and there you go. So the RSs are going to start aligning now. And we're in KEGE, and we're heading down to CYVR. Actually, before I do this, start flight leg, start service cruise on ground, and payload. Let's get our payload in here. So, sim brief, and we're taking 9,500 kilos of fuel, so it'll take quite a bit of time to load on board. And the payload we're looking for today is 19,300. But remember, I probably will have to turn that down to match the zero fuel weight once it's refreshed. We just need to wait for all the payload to get loaded on board, and then we can. So you can see it's loading now gradually, and then we need to make sure it's 60.9. Is what we're looking for. There we go. So payload's loaded, and you can see we are 1.5 kilos over. So we'll put it down to 17,800, and then we'll see what it thinks of that. 60.9, perfect. So there we go. So we're taking a bit of weight out. We're all set now. The fuel, we're going to call the fuel truck, and that'll begin to start loading. This one's gone to ground services now, and we'll set the chocks, and we'll release the parking brakes. And right, so call sign today is Skyways, and then it's 2613 for the return. It was 2612 on the way here. And we're going to CYVR. Put that in there. Excellent. And don't know what light just turned on then. There was some light that just turned on for some reason. Just check my joystick's working. It is great. And we can't fill out any of this stuff yet because we need to wait for the fuel to be loaded on board. So today we're going to be departing from runway 25, the only runway really that they let you depart off here in Eagle County. So let's do a quick, quick countdown, and then I'll start recording on the tablet for the departure briefing. So 5, 4, 3. It's great in editing this. 2, 1. Right, so we're going to be taking the Beaver 1 departure today out, and we're going to be taking, actually I don't even know what, it's going to be the SPRKT. I'm sure there's a way to actually say that waypoint as a word, but I don't know how. So the SPRKT transition, take that, route, and that can just go on to the next page. So, and we'll check the departure afterwards then, while I'm putting in the route. So, actually, no, what we'll do, we'll look over the arrival first. I think I've done this at the wrong point, actually. You know what? Nope, I'm going to stop recording. I'll go over that again. I'll do the departure briefing again later. Sorry for that, wasting a bit of time. Never mind. I think I decided to start doing the briefing a bit early. Right. So let's get our route in first. I didn't realise I forgot about that part. Right. Direct to IDA, and then it's direct to IDQ. It's all direct on this flight today. And then from IDQ it's direct to EPH, and then it's direct to Egret. Egret, there we go. Activate, execute, and then arrival. We're going to be using runway 08 left at the moment down in Vancouver, and with the grid 6. The Egret transition isn't listed there. I don't know what we're going to be. I'll have a quick look now. If there isn't, is there no transition? Maybe there's no transition. I'll grab a quick look at the chart. And yeah, no transition. We're starting it from Egret, which is where the arrival starts. No problem. So no transition. Go ahead and execute that. Perfect. Amazing. And I'll just bring back up my screen recorder so we can actually go through the departure briefing now. Right, so everything should be in here done. Yeah, obviously we can't enter in any of these details now until until the fuel's fully loaded on board, and we've got our weight, so you can see we're waiting on the fuel. So let's do the briefing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, so we're here on the ground here at Eagle County, stand 2, where we left off last time. So that's good. And we're going to be departing runway 25, so we'll be pushing back to the right, and then taxi down, and then down Alpha, runway 25. And then it's going to be the Beaver 1 departure, so we're going to be taking off and making a left turn as soon as we can out of the airport. As soon as possible, basically, and we have to be above 7,100 to do that left turn. So the left turn's going to be on a heading of 206, so I'm going to go ahead and set that in there, just so we remember. And we've got to be 13,100 or above at press, and 225 knots, so we've got a speed restriction on departure as well. And then we've got to be above 13,700 at Gorman, and to SPR, I don't know what that waypoint, maybe Sprocket, is that what the waypoint's supposed to be called? I don't know. But anyway, that's what we've got there, so that's all good. And then once we're on our route then, it's going to be pretty much straight across, same route as we took from Vancouver to get here in Eagle County. See the last video, episode number 3 for that. So we'll be departing straight over, over Idaho Falls, and just, you know, and then descending down into Vancouver, and the grid 6, and then vectors to the final on the ILS. So nice simple route today, as usual really in the US it tends to be. And we're on that sim, but as usual, sadly, doesn't appear there's any ATC. I will just check. No ATC for us at all. There are a couple of planes heading down to Vancouver. There's one from Toronto that's about 4 hours away, and I don't think we'll be hit. I don't think that'll be close to us. Never mind. So it's looking quite quiet at the moment. Grab the weather here in Eagle County. We're looking at an altimeter of 3019, so we'll go ahead and get that in there. And our RSs are aligned, which is good. And it's clear, no wind, 10 degrees, -5 though, so a little bit chilly. But you don't need anti-ice because there's no visible moisture, no rain, no snow, nothing of the sort. So we're okay. I think we'll put the isolation valve into auto. Trim air can come on. And right, let's actually get everything else set up now. So, oh, the fuel is still loading. Okay. We'll run through our flows, then make sure the yaw damper is on. Fuel pumps will turn on later. Everything's looking good down this way. Don't need the APU yet. In fact, I can't even start it until the fuel's finished loading, really. Everything's all good here, all good there. Yeah, that's basically it. Oh, cruising today at 34,000 feet, so we'll get that set. And that's about it, really. So, and the rest of the flows, we need to wait. All the brakes can get set to RTO. I wouldn't mind a little teeny more brightness on that panel. No, that's the... Okay, that doesn't look like I can change the brightness of those actual things. Right, flight director's left side and right side, and there's no restrictions to be below a certain altitude, so we're just going to go straight up to cruise altitude 34,000 feet. And then we need to wait then for the fuel's finish, which it almost has. We're looking for 9,300, I believe, on the fuel. I'll just grab a little check of that. 9,500 on the fuel we're looking for. So got to just sit around and wait for that. And then we can get better pushback and all that started as well. Cost index we can enter that is 25. Reserves, let's check those now. I didn't check those in the last flight, so it's probably a good idea, isn't it? I forgot till like started planning the flight last minute. Right, yeah, great. So the reserves are 1.1 and 1.2, so 2.3. And then we have to wait to put in all our weights and stuff because the fuel isn't yet on board. So we'll just wait for that. And then we'll do all our V speeds and all the rest of it while better pushback is setting up. We'll make sure that the active frequency in here isn't the same one as the airport we're at. For the LDA approach, obviously that was set when I did a flight earlier. TCAS is all ready to go. Make sure the weather radar's turned on, I guess. Don't think there's much weather in the area. Obviously, it's a lot lighter. It's nice actually doing a flight in the daylight. Earlier, the flight was done, obviously, all at night, the whole thing. So it's going to be, you know, it's morning sun right now. It's just brightening up, which is nice. Right, so we're just waiting now for the fuel to be loaded. I think it should be finished. There you go, 9.5. It is finished. 60.9 on the zero fuel weight. That's perfect. And it's going to be 340 we're cruising at today. And the winds are 238 at 62. And we're looking at -3 degrees on the ISA. Execute that. And there we go. That's everything in there. We could actually potentially go up to 360, but there must have been a reason that SimBrief planned 34. Although, again, it doesn't say planned optimum flight ever. We'll just stick with what it said. N1 limit, we're going to do a D-rate of 1 on both. Actually, maybe it'd be a good idea to do full takeoff. We'll do a D-rate of 1 on the climb, but full takeoff power, because it's only a 9,000-foot runway, and we've got to get off. Got to get off the runway quickly here, because also we're very high up altitude, so the engines have less performance as well. So we want to really max out. I think they have less performance. Yeah, they do, don't they? That's why the climbing slides down. So I think we'll use full power just to be sure. Obviously, we want to try and avoid terrain and do quite a steep climb as quick as possible as well. So just to be safe, I think we'll go with it, won't we? 150 is the V2. Auto throttle arm, VNAV. No ALNAV again. That's a bit weird. I don't know. We should have ALNAV, actually. Right, and finally, the center of gravity, which we should be able to grab somewhere on here. It should be under here. Payload. There it is. 27.4. Again, I'm pretty sure it's the takeoff weight one that we use. 27.4, which gives us a trim value of 4.75, which we've set in there. There you go, I'm happy with that. And you know what? I think we're ready now, so beacon light can come on, so everyone back there will stop loading. Fuel pumps can come on, seatbelt signs, chimes, hydraulics.
Boarding is now complete. Flight attendants prepare the cabins. Verify arm doors, stand by for all.
And centre fuel pumps can come on and start pushback.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing.
There you go, we'll have it like that.
Great news, Captain, your tow's coming.
Right, excellent, then we're all ready to go then. Oh, again, remember to start the APU. Yeah, and make sure that the APU bleed is on. Ready to start our engines. Pro-peats can come on as well, and I think we're basically ready to go now. Yes. We'll get the GPU, no, not GPU, sorry, the jetway disconnected. Is that actually disconnecting? Yes, just took a bit of time. And then we'll just check that all the doors are shut. Obviously, we don't want to be, we don't want to be taking off with anything like that, do we? So where is it? Where's our doors page? There it is. And you can see all the doors are locked, all of them are ready to go. Great, perfect. And we want to set the parking brakes and remove the chocks.
Alright, looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
Right, APU is almost, there you go, APU is online. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of the GPU. And that means we're all ready to go on that side of things. So we are ready to depart. Let's get our TCAS on VATSIMs, we'll get on a bit early. And yeah, we should be good now. I think everything's all set up as is. We'll get the course set to 0, just so it's not intercepting anything. Our nav doesn't want to work yet, so I think it's because of how the departure is. So we're going to be doing heading. So we're going to initially climb out manually until we're above 7,100 feet, and then we're going to make a left turn to heading 206.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Tow's connected, bypass pins inserted. Go ahead and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
Okay, parking brake's released. Just make sure there's no discounts on
Here
our
comes
route.
the pushback. Light them up.
Excellent. And engine page is on there now. I'm going to go ahead and start the engine. And it is actually starting, right? What have I done now? The APU bleed. Oh, come on. I don't think I've done this again. Where I feel I messed up the engine start of this thing. Why does this always happen? The engines never start for me on this plane. Ever. The APU bleed is on. The packs are off. Why do I keep... What's going on? Every time I fly this plane, the engines refuse to start first time. Okay, for some reason... okay, I guess that engine didn't want to start. We have to start engine 1 first. Weird. Well, there's only one APU bleed for the two of them, so... There's no reason why one would work and one wouldn't. We'll see. Honestly, the engines... I don't know, maybe it's a bug with Zebo, but the engines have been a bit temperamental with starting up, I've found. No matter, we've got one engine online anyway. And then the other one should... maybe... I don't know, maybe you did have to start engine 1 first. Just make sure the throttle is in 0, I think. Just want to make sure. There you go, that engine started pretty quickly, actually. That's nice. There it is. And then we'll start the other engine, and hopefully it will actually start this time. Yep, okay, I have no idea why it didn't want to start the first time, but okay.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
Parking brake is set. Just make sure that message
and we're
about
disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
Check all these are in normal. Yeah, good. Okay, right. And introduce fuel on engine number 2. Engines are starting good. Taxi lights can come on now since the pushback's basically finished. Actually, you know what, we'll leave it until... don't want to blind the pushback, man. Right, engine 1 can go into continuous mode. Disconnect. Better pushback. And there we go, the other engine's almost finished firing up. There we go, there's a little thing. That can go over to continuous now. On engine power, AP bleed can come off. Engine bleeds on, AP bleed off.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
And there we go, everything's ready to go. Engine page can go around there. Flap set to 5, and then we'll do our checklist once the flaps have finished setting. and our mouth doesn't want to work, so we'll do that later. Great, and make sure traffic's on there. Excellent. So config checked, flaps are set to 5 and green light. Stabilizer trim is set to 4.75. Takeoff briefing, I'm just going to make a left turn as soon as 7,100 feet, that's the main thing. Seatbelt signs are on, and everyone's sitting down, nice and secured. Transponder on, strobe lights can go to strobe and steady, and I'll get taxi lights on as well, and then the landing lights will be done closer to takeoff. Anyway, let's get out of here then. And we're nice and early as well, got ready, actually prepped the plane a bit quicker than the last flight that I did. Everything's recording all good, everything's fine. Excellent. And then need to make sure that the nose wheel steering is working. Press Z, there we go, great, works now. There we go, and you can see outside we've got everything. Don't need the wing lights on this flight, we're all good for that. It's not as dark as last time. We'll make a left turn onto the main taxiway and then we'll basically go full length. We're obviously going to use the whole runway. That'd be a good idea. And we're going to use... Actually, no, don't use heading selects. Yet, right. Just remember, we only want to make that left turn after we've dealt with 7,100 feet, which should be done pretty quickly. And then, yeah, as soon as we're stable and above 7,100 feet, we need to make that turn as soon as possible. So doing pretty good, taxiing all the way along. Everything's all looking good up there. Do a quick recall check. All good. And make sure all the trim air and all the window heats and stuff, the stuff we forgot last time, is all set. Which it is. And we'll get ourselves back to Vancouver. It's been a bit of an interesting day for me, this. Lots of flying. 2 flights in one day. Didn't really have much else to do, really. I'm not doing much iRacing now this week, because next week is week 13, so I'm going to do quite a bit of iRacing then, so I think... Yeah, may as well get some flight simming done before then. We're going to go full length, I think. Alpha 1, is it? Yes. We can take off from there, so I think... We're going to use all of the runway. I mean, even though it's quite a long runway, it's because we're so high up, at 6,500 feet, so... And because of the fact that we want to be climbing and then turning as soon as is possible. In fact, you know what, let's get the terrain radar on, rather than the weather radar at first. I think it's a better idea to have terrain. You can see all this terrain around us that is quite high. Right, running lights on, runway turn-offs on, taxi lights off. The lighting inside the cockpit has just suddenly changed because of that. It's because of the lighting from the sun, I think. We're the only plane here or heading for this airport, so no need to report on Unicom. And you can see the lighting of the sun is coming back in now, so... This plane does do lighting quite, I don't know, weirdly, but also quite nice. And we want... Hopefully the auto throttle will work. Nope, doesn't want to work again. Like the first flight. So that means that I'll have to idle it after takeoff in order for it to go into auto throttle mode. Right, because these buttons ain't working. Right, power set. Start the clock. It'll be a bit of a quick takeoff this, I think. Again, look at that massive mountain ahead there. That's what we want to be avoiding. Oh, the camera knocked me. We're okay. Right, airspeed's live. 80 knots.
80 knots.
I think I'm glad we used the full power takeoff here. You can tell there's less takeoff performance, definitely. V1, rotate.
V1, rotate.
Whoa, I'm glad we used maximum power there. Look at that.
Great.
Gear up. Yeah, definitely glad we made max power. And then there you go. You can see the See the terrain there. So as soon as we pass 7,100,
400.
there we go. So now we've passed 7,100. We're going to start making that left turn. And we're going to get the autopilot in straight away so I can focus on the departure. We want to get direct to Copa. And weather.
1,000.
Back over to weather mode. There's 1,000 feet climbing out. We're just going to go to off. Beacon light on, because obviously turn off with the braking. And my turn off's off. And flaps 2. Lock the gear. Auto brakes into off. And you can see there you go. So we've done this departure pretty well. Obviously I just got it in autopilot so I can start focusing on everything else. Get in LNAV mode. And flaps 1. Until we establish direct Copa, we can't go above 210 knots, but we've already done that. That's good. All fine. And there you go. This thing's now going to start climbing and avoiding all this terrain around, because I didn't get to see this on the approach I did in here last, on the first flight, because it was so dark. Right, flaps up now. And there we go. And then we're going to idle the power, and it's going to be taken over by the plane. But because we're not climbing much, it hasn't actually dropped us that much speed, so we're alright. There goes a very steep turn here, you can see, as we depart the airport on our path. And max 225 knots until APRES. That's something to make sure that we can properly climb and turn out of here. I go past 10,000. Line lights off. There we go, this can go up now. It's 10 nautical mile, maybe 20 nautical mile range. And there we go. I think I'm pretty happy with that departure. Done that pretty well. Obviously getting the autopilot in quite soon so we can handle everything else. That's why in real life you have 2 pilots. One can fly the plane and then the other can manage everything. But in Flight Sim world, that ain't the case. Right, air conditioning and pressure is set already. Engine start switches are in the off position. All the brakes are off. Flaps are up. No lights. Altimeters will set at 18,000. So there we go. Checklist done. I could go to 40 nautical mile range on there now. Now make sure that's in the locked position. Good. And this thing's doing a bit of a steeper climb now because we're going quite slowly still for this altitude. No problem. Yeah, pretty nice climb out there. Very nice scenery. I'm glad I got to do one flight either in or out of Eagle County during the day. There's the airport back there. Look, so what we've basically done there is sweep around. It's so loud out there. I need to change that. So what we've done is sweep around that hill and then out. So pretty interesting departure that. Right, there we go. We've just hit the point where we're free to climb up to top speed now for the climb. And we'll leave this, and then after we pass Gorman, I think we'll set the seatbelt signs so people can walk around nice and freely. But definitely has to be after we finish this climb, this turn, I mean. And then we'll set our heading then, round 295 is this leg's heading on the chart. And there we go. And I forgot to stop recording on the tablet. Mind. I did that last time as well. I just have to cut it in the editing software. Why do I do that? I remember to start recording on the tablet screen. I forget every time. Oh well. And it's a bit annoying though, because I end up with a really large file then, and I have to download it. Obviously, which is a bit of a pain. Amazingly, it's only 64 meg. I don't know how that's possible. The other recording I did was a lot larger than that for 10 minutes. So I don't know how 20 minutes is 80 meg. Try to work that out. No, 60 meg. I mean, yeah, doesn't make any sense. Never mind. climbing up nicely now, and we'll get the seatbelt signs off. Happy for everyone back there to walk around. Enjoy the flight, and it's going to go to 80 nautical mile range now, because we won't have any waypoints for a while. So yeah, we've completed the departure successfully, and we're heading out nicely. Obviously, hand flew that first little turn. It's nice. As weird as it is flying a Boeing with a joystick, it still doesn't feel right. Never mind. I haven't got space for a yoke anyway on this desk. A joystick's nice. It's great when you fly an Airbus as well. It feels really nice with an Airbus. I haven't flown an Airbus for a while. Passing 18,000. Standard pressure, there we go. And there we are. That's basically everything done for the departure. On standard pressure, climbing away. Very nice 40 FPS. I'm happy. Very happy. And who knows, maybe we'll get some ATC, but sadly I think I doubt it really, but it would be nice, wouldn't it? It'd be very nice. It's very busy actually on Vatsin today. I'm not sure if there's any events going on around Norway. They've got quite a bit of ATC around there. I know there was a few events. There's an event down in the Canary Islands later as well, so there'll probably be a lot of people heading down there from Gatwick or something. So it's quite busy actually. There's a lot of belugas about as well since I&I Builds released their beluga add-on. So like everybody's going there, like everyone's flying to Howarden because they've got the beluga. It's pretty funny that, I think. Pretty funny. Everyone's flying their belugas everywhere. Cool. Quite funny, I think. So I think I might actually get the beluga. I saw it. It's just £45 actually. Which is really good. £45, and that comes with a scenery as well. You get Howarden Airport scenery, so I might pick that up. Anyway, I'll see you guys at cruise. Right guys, we're here at cruise, 34,000 feet. We're going to be here now for the next hour and a half, so hour and 37 minutes to be exact, at 34,000 feet. Obviously, as we expect, we've got a bit of a tailwind on the way down to Eagle County, so it's a headwind back there, only 420 knots, so going a bit slowly, but not too bad. We should be touching down at 4:05 Zulu, and it will be bright down in Vancouver, so that'll be nice. And you know, obviously, I'm gonna chill out for the next hour and a half, and I'll start, you know, looking at what runway we're going to be using. At the moment, planning the 08 left, and it's looking like that's what's going to be. And yeah, and coming up will be, as usual, the montage of the cruise phase of flight. Hope you enjoy the video. Guys, there we go, coming to the end of our cruise now. 3:32 Zulu, so been about an hour and a half since I last spoke on the video, so obviously for you guys it's just instant. This is why editing these flight videos is such a good idea, I think. Now, it's good news, we have some ATC Pretty unbelievable actually. But yeah, we have Tower online down in Vancouver, so and they've got an ATIS going, and we're going to be landing on 08 left like we planned, which is great. And the altimeter down there is 2987, so just get that preset before I forget. And let's get the briefing going. So what I'll do, I'll go ahead and start recording on my tablet. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, so as you can see, we are currently heading towards the start of our start. We're going to be taking the Grease 6 today, starting at Egret, no transition. We're going to be between 12,000 and 10,000 and 280 knots, so perfect. And then it's going to be above 10,000 at TACGO, above 8,000 at Vancouver, and then above 3,000 at NACMA and 210 knots. So it's a bit of a steep descent actually. Actually no, never mind, 17 miles. I don't know, it looks like a bit less than that on the chart. And then, so I'm going to be bringing it up on the plan here. Let's have a quick look. You can see, again, vectors as usual. So what we're going to do is delete the vector and just go direct to the ILS like that. And that's what we've been doing. There you go, perfect. And then onto the ILS. And what I'm going to do is make sure we add in the extra waypoint of Dulkey, which is a good way for me to know then where the glide slope starts. So I'll go ahead and do that. Great. So that's now in there. And that's alright. We don't need to enter in the other waypoint. Just that one, because that helps us know. And that's at 3,000. It just helps us know when to start descending for the glide slope. So that's all in there now. And then once we land on 08 left, we're probably going to vacate around Mach 3 again, like last flight, although we're on a Dash 800 aircraft this time, so a little bit heavier. Actually, let's set the ILS frequencies. I didn't do that. 110.55, so just get that in there. 110.55, and the course is 083. And I'll just check that this plane agrees with that. Yeah, it does. 083, because I think the 787-700 disagreed, didn't it? From what I remember. So that's set there. Oh, needs to do the... So like last flight, again, we've hit that kind of, you know, right point just before descent is when that message from Skytrack goes off. So there we go. Just set that. And airport elevation is 10 feet, so that's 0 landing altitude. So we'll set that all the way down from obviously the altitude of Eagle County, all the way down to 0. And that's about it then. Airport, yeah, so vacate on Mach 5, Mach 3, somewhere around there, and then we're going to taxi into anywhere between stand 73 and 80. Any of those stands are allowed at Fly UK, so I don't mind which one we take. How long's the runway? It's 9,940 feet, so we're going to use auto brakes too, I think, just in case. The plane was quite slow in slowing down at Eagle County with this same kind of weight on board, although that was obviously quite high up in the we're going to do a flaps 40 arrival again, because we've quite a high landing speed, as we're a bit heavy. And that's about it, really. So there's the descent checklist, we've done all of that, so move it down. And the weather down there in Vancouver is currently still 2987. It's 6 degrees, but there's no wind, no rain, sorry, reported. And I'll read out the ATIS. So information Charlie, we have 130 degrees 9 knots, and it's gusting 16, so a few gusty winds, but not too bad. Temperature is plus 6 degrees, and IFR approaching uses ILS or RNAV at 08 left. So we're going to be using the ILS for 08 left, and they're departing 08 right. It's actually quite quiet down there. There's one plane from Edmonton, an A320, currently just passing 20,000 feet. So that'll be in Vancouver about 15 minutes, 20 minutes ahead of us. So they're not a problem. Right, we'll set this altitude down then to 10,000 as our initial descent. There we go. Also, if anyone knows how to like fix the Zebo, has got these really light, all the altitude, they go really light when the sun shines on them, and I don't like that. I don't think it does that in real life, but I don't know if there's a fix for that, or whether they're planning to fix it at some point. We're approaching 2 hours into the flight as well, so quite nice. I'm just going to stop the recording on my tablet. Remember this time. I forget a lot of the time, so good job I remembered. So there we go. And yeah, we'll be starting our descent pretty soon, and I'll probably resume the recording. Presumably passing about 18,000 feet. Here are guys, passing 20,000 feet, just going to turn the seatbelt sign on. Gone a little bit earlier onto the recording for the descent because Vancouver Centre has come online. They've literally just given me a message saying contact me on 1337, so we've done that. And then we're going to pre-tune Vancouver Tower 1187. So there we go, we have some nice ATC today. 2 lots in fact, so that's nice, isn't it? Vancouver Centre, Skyways 2613, passing flight level 190.
Skyways 2613, good morning sir, Squawk 0772.
Squawk 0772, Skyways 2613. Okay, 0772 in the Squawk. So set that.
Skyways 2613, radar contact. You cleared the Grizz 6 arrival, runway 08 left, descend and maintain 10,000, 10,000, the Vancouver altimeter 2987.
Cleared on the Grizz 6 arrival, descend and maintain 10,000 and altimeter 2987, Skyways 2613.
2613, thanks.
Right, passing
Meridian
17,000.
371, do you want the ILS or the RNAV runway?
And we've been cleared down
I'll go with the
to
ILF, please.
10,000 on the Grizz 6, which is what we're
Meridian
planning.
371, roger. The radar vectors ILS, runway 08 left, maintain present heading.
And yeah, so we're cleared on the Grizz 6,
ILF,
runway 08 left, and we've set our squawk and everything's all ready.
Canadian 371.
And there you go, we're ready for when. Right, we're gonna set the. Actually, we're gonna be getting radar vectors, remember? So we'll keep this on here because remember we were initially gonna go direct to the ILS because obviously like from NACMA because we weren't gonna have any ATC, but now these guys are on here, they can give us vectors. It's the first time we've had ATC out here in the US, I think, which is pretty cool. So nice. And yeah, so we've been cleared down to 10,000. The plane is going to try and hold at 12,000 for a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to whack in 10,000 or above on here to make sure that it doesn't hold at 12,000 because I don't want it to do that. Okay, and that's just totally messed up the... Alright, 12,000 or below then. So yeah, I was thinking it would automatically be below 12,000 at Egret, but it ain't. So never mind. I'm just gonna have to try and do a continuous descent then myself. It does annoy me that the Zebo 737 does that. It tries to hold after a waypoint. Like if it doesn't think it's time to descend yet after that waypoint, it holds there. But obviously, typically you just it's easy just to do and more fuel efficient to just do a very, very shallow descent for a little bit until you need to do an actual descent. But yeah, I don't know why they've coded it like that. They just have. So never mind. And we've only been cleared down to 10,000.
371, descend and maintain 4,000.
Anyway.
4,000 Canadian 371.
So you can see the plane's now going to hold at 12,000 for a little bit, which I don't really want it to do. I guess we'll use this opportunity to slow down a little bit, right? And vertical speed. I'm going to use vertical speed because I don't want it. Okay, why are we suddenly 6,700 feet too high? Yep, that's this plane. That's what it does sometimes, sadly. Because we've told it you have to be above 10,000, it'll just hold at this altitude for ages, which obviously I don't really want it to do. So I'm just going to slow it down and we'll let the descent come to the plane. Obviously in real life you probably would use this bit as an opportunity to descend, so I'll go to 240 knots a bit later on then, once we get a bit closer.
Skyways 2613, descend to 8,000.
Descend 8,000, Skyways 2613. Right, 8,000. I'm not even sure if they actually use that. Like, obviously in America, like North America, like USA, you would say 2613 rather than 2613, but I have no idea if they actually do that in Canada or not. So I'm saying 2613, but I don't actually know if that's what my call sign should be. Never mind. Who knows? I'm just doing what they do in the I'm guessing what they do in the US and Canada is the same, right? I mean, it probably would be, or at least very similar, right? Line lights on because we're about to pass 10,000 soon. I'm going to step up the descent a little bit because we've been told we're cleared down to 8,000, so obviously the controller wants us
Canadian Express 371,
at that
turn
level.
left heading 170, descend to 3,000.
You know, obviously, if we look on the chart somewhere, it should say, actually it doesn't, but it should say quite often, actual descent clearance given by ATC is what it'll often say. It doesn't say it on this one, but they usually say that. Because otherwise he'd say descend, there's a difference, so you say descend to 8,000 or descend via star to 8,000. They're two different instructions, and one means yeah, for the restrictions, the other one means no, just get here, get to this descent as best. But turns out deleting that restriction, actually the plane has not changed its mind about what it wants to descend to. I'm just going to slow it down to 240 knots now. Obviously this shallow descent is a good opportunity to slow the plane, so that's what we're using it for. And obviously we're not going to stick to the restriction now.
It's Express 371, left heading 110 for the intercept, 3,000 till established.
So even when I've deleted all restrictions, the plane is still keeping this same profile.
110, cleared the ILS 8 left, and established tower 118.7, I believe.
I'll get you over to tower here in a minute, so just stay with me for now.
I copy that. Stay with you.
Well, I'll get the ILS frequency live as well. Why not? And we're getting ITL 11055. That's correct. So the plane's picking up good. And we're doing this very slow descent, which is good. We're holding at 240 knots. And we should get vectors at some point quite soon to the ILS, hopefully, or maybe not. I don't know. See what he gives us. Obviously we can clear down to 8,000. Just doing a very slow descent now because we were a little bit we are just a bit low really after that. Obviously there was a restriction before we got passed over to ATC. But yeah, it's nice to have ATC though. I said it's quite rare in the US because of the timing of day. You know, obviously for them it's 8 AM, so it's like in the UK at 8 AM on VATSIM you wouldn't get ATC that often, although Gatwick does tend to get some ATC. But yeah, it's very lucky to have tower and centre.
Skyways 2613, descend to 5,000.
Descend 5,000, Skyways 2613. Okay, he's calling us Skyways 2613, so I'm guessing that's what we're meant to be known as. Right? That's what I'd assume we're meant to be known as, since that's what he's calling us now.
371, nice job, sir. Cross Bexham, 160 knots or less, contact tower 118.7.
So you can see there, the plane's descent profile stalled now, because it's planning for us to slow down.
Contact tower 118.7, thanks for the ATC.
So we're doing a very slow descent, 800 feet per minute, and then hopefully the plane's vertical speed should begin to catch up with us, and then we can do a bit more of a steeper descent. Like, well, I'm going to wait for that to pass, because we've already slowed down to 240 knots a bit earlier than maybe we were supposed to. Obviously I did that because we're doing quite a slow descent, so it's a good opportunity to ease back on the power a little bit and just get ourselves nice slowed down. Right. So the plane's, in about 300 feet time, the plane's VNAV profile should pass 10,000 feet, and then it should start closing back in on us more. Oh, we need to look up, because X-Plane is, yeah, because we're going through the clouds at the moment, so we're descending through the clouds. X-Plane does drop below 20 FPS on this computer in thick cloud. So you've got to just make sure that sim doesn't try to disconnect you, and the best way to do that is look up, and then you can't see the clouds anymore, and the FPS increases massively to what it was before. So it's a bit of a weird thing that, and FSX has the same problem, where it runs very laggy inside clouds versus anywhere else. Bit weird that it does that, but never mind. Oh, got a bit of rain here in. It's actually it's positive temperature outside, so no worries. I don't know, the ATIS didn't report any rain, but there we go. It reported rain earlier, but it said it stopped. Right, we'll put them both on low, I suppose, because you know, unlike FSX or even MSFS, unless it's on high settings, X-Plane does have rain on the windshield of the plane, which I think is extremely cool. And so you don't get that in any other sim, and apart, you do get it in Microsoft Flight Sim. You just have to turn up the graphics to high or above, which obviously kills your system. But on this game, on this game, you know, now we're actually through the cloud. You can see the FPS. The FPS is bad when we're in between clouds. If we're in a cloud, the FPS isn't too bad in X-Plane, so it's better than FSX in that sense. Right, I'm going to increase the descent speed now because we're starting to catch back up with our vertical profile, and I'm also going to slow it to 230 knots just to make sure we're going a little bit slower. Just a little notification from VATSIM there about someone's ATC test or something. They broadcast that wide on the whole network just in case you want to fly to wherever the test is taking place. I don't quite know why they do that, to be honest. It's not like
2613 at Nakamura, you cleared ILS runway 08 left, not below 3000 till established.
Cleared ILS 08 left, not below 3000 till established. Skyways 2613. Okay, down to 3000. I said 2613 again, not 2613. Never mind. Right, so he's not giving us vectors then. What that sound going on? There's a weird sound clicking then. So we're just going to continue on this now. We're going to continue on our plan of intercepting it at MCAM. What's making that clicking sound in the plane? What is that? It's like the sound of the throttle idling. Yeah, it is. Right, there you go. I don't know what's going on there. There you go. I think it was my my joystick throttle. I must have knocked it or something. It's okay. So you can see at the moment we're 700 feet too low, but luckily this descent rate we're doing is perfect. Right, down to 220 knots now. And I think we're going to go flaps 2 just to make sure that we can keep the speed up. Because I think it's a bit turbulent here. We've still got 21 knot winds. There's no rain now, actually. I think the rain is cleared. There's been a weather update and there's no rain, so off. So I thought it would be raining then, but I guess it's either the rain is cleared or maybe we've headed slightly away from it. Right, down to... We're going to go back to 1800 feet per minute now. Just while we catch back up with... we can't go below 3000, remember. And yeah, I'm just keeping up the arrival procedure here. Rather, I mean, obviously, I maybe could have turned on to wireless a bit earlier, but I'm happy with extending out to what I planned before. Right, we're actually below the cloud now. No rain, so wherever that rain was that we were having has stopped. There's 2 planes on the ground in Vancouver, along with another plane approaching. So, that one has now touched down. So it's quite nice, quite busy, down in Vancouver. There we go, plane's descending nicely now. Right, this can go down to 10 nautical mile range. Going to go down to 200 knots now for the approach. And we can go flaps 5 because of that. Just check our landing speed. There you go, landing speed has decreased slightly, so you can see 140 knots now, so 145 will be our final landing speed. Oh, wrong one.
Thousand to go.
There we go. I pressed the button for the flaps, not the speed brakes. We've armed the speed brake for landing, and you can see there you go. So we're going to arm the approach now. Go on altitude is going to be 3,500. So as soon as we've... and I haven't set... Oh, I haven't set my minimums. That was something I forgot. The minimums are 213. Wow. Don't know why I forgot that. There we go, 213. Luckily it doesn't take very long to set because they're tiny minimums. I just noticed then, I was like, oh, hang a minute. But we're okay. We're alright. And then over this, I love the approach into Vancouver. I absolutely love it. Obviously, not the first time I've done it. Obviously, we did the Calgary to Vancouver flight 2 videos ago. That was using exactly the same approach. But we did approach from the other side of the airport. Right, there you go. So we're at 3,000 now. So we're going to hold here until we've established on the glide slope. And then when I can see the runway, I'm going to drop it to 180 knots. You can see there, we're 14 miles out from the airport. We should enter glide slope at about 4.5 miles. I'm going to slow the plane now to 180 knots. We've got the localizer, so we're just waiting on the glide slope now. I'm going to go flaps 10. See, I thought it'd be raining, but the rain just miraculously stopped. I don't know how it happened, but it did. I do love the Fly2 livery. It's a really nice livery. Right, we'll set the engine start switches to continuous. And that's all we need to do. The rest of it will take care of itself.
2613, nice job, sir. Cross Bexham 160 knots or less, contact tower 118.7, good flight.
Tower on 118.7, Skyways 2613, bye.
The altimeter's 2987, you're clear for takeoff runway 08 right.
Thanks for the weather. We'll contact center 133.7 on takeoff. And clear for takeoff 08 right, Air Canada 7045.
Vancouver Tower, good morning. Skyways 2613, established on the ILS for 08 left.
Skyways 2613, Vancouver Tower, good morning. Winds 130 at 9er, gusting 16, altimeter 2987. Clear to land runway 08 left.
Clear to land runway 08 left, altimeter 2987, Skyways 2613. Okay, 3,500 to go around, altitude is set, and we are 8 miles out. I think like the center control did actually give me a speed constraint, but I didn't quite hear what it was. It was saying about 160 knots, so that I assume it's 160 default DME. It's usually what they give you. It's quite a common speed constraint, that. Also 6 miles, maybe. I think he said 6. I think he said 6 actually. Right. There's the runway. I can see it. We've been given landing clearance. We're good. And then at 6 miles out, that's when we'll... if those throttles are still being weird, I don't know what's going on. Who knows? Alright, gear down. And it's going to be flaps 40. There you go. And 145 set in there. Plane's trimming itself now for the final approach. Right, there we go. Let's disengage the auto throttle first, just so I can get the hang of the speed, and then... It's a little bit bumpy on arrival here today. Right. Disengage the autopilot. Got a good view of the runway. But yeah, definitely it's crosswind and a bit gusty, 15 knots, so have to be careful when we first touch down. Obviously I don't have the greatest of rudder control, remember, so I have to be careful of that. Although the wind is, now we're actually descending a little bit. It was 16 knots up there. It's gone down to 13 knots now, so it's a little bit more manageable. And that's 12 knots, so as we get lower it is it's definitely better. It's also gusting winds.
Stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
So it will fluctuate. As you can see when it gets up towards 15, 16 knots, that's when I can feel it more. But if it's only like 10 knots, it's not too bad. But the plane is rocking around a little bit. Look at that. Interesting. But everything's set up for landing. Auto brakes, speed brakes armed, auto brakes set, flaps full, gear down. There you go. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have gone outside because it's put back in default view, which is not nice. There we go. We're okay. I'm getting the hang of controlling this thing with the joystick now. There we go. We're pretty much on track. Slightly too low, this is saying, although I'd say it looks quite good.
Minimums. 200.
It's 200.
Minimums.
Continue. We're good. Oh, bit interesting there. It's
100.
there we go.
40.
Idle the power. Let's try and get a good landing.
10.
Or at least a smooth landing, anyway. It's a bit rough, although again, not too bad. We didn't puncture a tyre or anything like that. And we've kept it on the centre line as well. The plane is successfully slowing down, unlike it did at Eagle County earlier today. Oh,
80 knots.
There we go. Kept it on the centre line, we're okay. Stop the clock there. Manual braking, reversers, retracted. I think we'll just make Mike 3. Yes. Just. Right. Line lights off. Tax lights on. Start the APU. Disarm the auto brakes. Vancouver Tower, Skyways 2613, vacated on Mike 3.
Skyway 2613, do you have a gate request?
Can I request gate 73?
Yeah, gate 73, straight ahead. Right, Mike, Sierra, Juliet Alpha, apron at your discretion.
Straight ahead, Mike, Sierra, Juliet Alpha, and then apron our discretion, Skyways 2613. Alright, so straight ahead, down Sierra. Wait, this is. I think you meant cross Mike. This is Mike that we're on now. Sierra's there, and then it's going to be Sierra,
Delta 89,
Juliet Alpha 73. Alright, great.
Delta 8942,
power on.
08 right, taxi via Juliet Bravo.
Oh, and I think it started raining again. I don't know. Actually, no, that might be rain left over from earlier.
13, hold short, 8 right.
So this is Sierra we're passing now.
Juliet Bravo, Kilo, Victor, Lima, cross runway 13 or short, and to holding point.
And then right this way.
Delta 89 or 42.
And then in stand 73. So there we go. Hello and welcome everyone to Vancouver. Flight time 2 hours and 27 minutes. Not the worst of landings, especially considering we had gusting 16 knot winds. Crosswind as well. Right. Track the flaps. And speed brake. Excellent. And then stand 73 is here. Happy with that. Good flight this one. And we had some nice ATC on the way in as well. Awesome. Gives me confidence that we can actually fly in the US a bit more and have and Canada and have decent ATC. Obviously I've never had. It's quite rare to get ATC, to be honest, but there we go. Nice. Definitely. Right, rolling up to the gate now. We want to go roughly to the end of, so we can't see that yellow line anymore. So about here. Maybe gone slightly too far again. Don't know. And there we go. Parked at the gate. And we're on APU power, so we can go ahead and cut the engines. taxi lights can come off. Beacon lights have already turned themselves off because of me pressing the brake there. It's a bit annoying that. Right, cut engine 2 as well. And there we go. Set the chocks. Release parking brakes. Now I don't. The jetways might not connect. No, it doesn't. I don't think we'll be able to connect the jetway because we parked slightly too forward. Never mind. Open the forward door and the cargo doors, and we'll go ahead and extend the air stairs. Request ground services.
Okay, they're on the way.
There we go. So ground services are on their way, and connect the GPU. GPU on and APU off. Fuel pumps off. Hydraulic gens off. Packs off. Probe heats off. It's positive temperature outside, so the window heats can come off. And there we go. We'll leave it at that, I think, for now. There we go. Cool. We'll wait for the ground services to show up now. Here they are. X-Plane does actually have some pretty decent ground services. Just wait for the engines are still finishing off. Right, there you go. Pretty cool little flight. I enjoyed that. I do love flying the Z-boat. Really nice little plane. It has its quirks occasionally. Obviously, it's like an open source project, like the... I think it's open source. I'm not totally sure, but it's like the fly-by-wire A320neo, where they take a free plane, and then they've been constantly improving it since X-Plane's release. I think 3 years ago now. I can't remember. Back 2 or 3 years ago, I think it released X-Plane, but... I really like that they do that, really cool, and hopefully the fly-by-wire A320neo will at some point be of the same quality of the Z-boat. That would be lovely to see, wouldn't it? Because it's awesome fun flying it. Oh, here on
Last aircraft calling, no audio.
Z-boat. It's really fun playing. So, yeah, there we go. I think any of our ground services arrived. Oh, we've got a catering truck. I didn't realise they did catering trucks. We need to be doing more of these. Crawling ground crew. I didn't realise X-Plane had this by default. Wow. Pretty cool, yeah. I barely ever get to call fuel services, but it's probably worth it. Does the Z-boat detect this as a fuel truck, or do I have to... Say I was going to load it on at the start of a flight, would I have to... Oh, I would have to call the fuel truck twice, maybe, so you might end up with 2 fuel trucks, but... I'm wondering where these baggage things are going to park, actually. Because the catering truck's kind of taken up a lot of the room. Obviously, you know, I like how X-Plane simulates this, so our vehicles will actually spawn in and drive towards us. So it's really cool, I think, that. Right. But there we go, we're here. Hope everyone enjoyed this video, and
Center 133.7
thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a subscribe if you enjoyed, and of course, like the video and comment down below what flights you'd like to see. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, that's why we do these videos, and I'm not just doing regular flight simming on my own without a video. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you in the next one. Just mute the desktop audio there so you can't hear the ATC. And bye bye.